What's up, buddy? Spot Jim. I'm joined by Jason Your Millennial and Nick from his channel, Townsend 505. We're going to be talking about legendary Ringo Starr, ranking his 5 EPs. He's released 5 from, I think, 2021 all the way to 2024. I think I've heard that he's going to be doing an album next, which I'm pretty excited for. I'm glad you both agreed to do this with me. Just before we get started, let's do a Ringo perspective. This is a retrospective. What are your overall thoughts on these EPs?
I'll let Jason go first.
Yeah, I mean, there's some good stuff here for sure. I like some stuff. Some stuff is okay. I never really listened to EP before. I always listen to albums, so it was a little different just listening to like 4 songs. And it's like you don't have a lot of error, room for error when you only have 4 songs. I would say like there's a couple of really great stuff here. And there's some stuff that's just okay, meh. Ringo's not the great singer, but he does fine. With the material. Obviously, it's like a lot of material written for him by some good writers, and I think the overall productions are really good. Like the guitars and the drums and the background singers, all very well done. So I think he has a lot of talent behind him that really helps. Hey, Mike. What I think is really interesting about these 5 EPs, I think is when I was listening to it just now, it kind of made me reflect on the last 4 years. I think because this feels like Ringo has he definitely gives off a very positive vibe through his music. I think that's what he really, because his brand is peace and love, peace and love. That's his whole thing, and you see it in the music. He mentions peace and love a couple times, and I think he really wants to put out these positive vibes because the last 4 years have been really rough. Mostly because of the whole COVID thing was really rough on everybody, and so it almost feels like he wrote this during COVID as a positive vibe to get through COVID. So, I kind of reflected on that when I was listening to this last time, and I was like, this is that was really kind of nice that he was kind of writing this upbeat music to dark times, anyways. So I thought that was good.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I thought these were decent EPs. There was one EP that I thought was absolutely amazing. There were 3 that I thought were. I mean, there was one that I liked, and then there was 3 I just thought were just okay EPs. Overall, I was happy I went through these 5 EPs, and I'm looking forward to his 6th EP because he says he's gonna take a return to country music, which he hasn't done that since that album over there. Which is it's just my all-time favorite Ringo album, so I'm looking forward to when he returns to that.
That's my least favorite Ringo album.
Yeah, it's not one of my favorites. I still like it.
Well, if you don't like country, then the album
yeah,
be for you.
It's not gonna be for you.
I like it a bit more than Sentimental Journey.
Yeah, if you're like Jacob and I who love country music, then this is an album for you.
Yeah, I think Jacob would like that. Would like that one. But yeah, I really liked Ringo's EPs as well. We'll have to wait and see whether he returns to making an album. But I've heard he might be doing an album next.
I think he should. I think he should just put an end to the albums. Him and McCartney, I think they've put enough good albums out for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But might as well get started with ranking these EPs. We might as well go through each track when we rank these, as there's not many songs on each of these. So there's only 21 songs from all these EPs. So what's our least favourite one?
For me, my least favorite was "Change the World," the second EP on here. There wasn't anything great on here at all. "Let's Change the World" is okay. "Just That Way" I didn't like at all. Had a reggae feel to it, which I didn't like. "Coming Undone" again was just okay. And then he does a cover. The only time he did a cover that I know of on this EP is he does "Rock Around the Clock" cover, which I thought was weird. Because I was like, huh, that's interesting, doing this old, cover from the 1955. And it's just Billy Haley in the comments is so good. That song, it's one of my favorite songs from the 50s. And I didn't think Ringo added much to it. So I was like, I didn't care for that either. So
That's fair. My number 5 is going to be EP3. Yeah, there were like a lot of these EPs. There's at least two outstanding songs. The two songs I really love on this album is "World Go Round" and "For Your Soul." Thought these were really two good songs, but "Everywhere and Everything" I didn't care for it at all. Let's Be Friends" was pretty lousy. It's Ringo kind of being political, and I don't like when artists get political on their albums or songs. To me, it ruins it. It's like keep politics out of it, especially Ringo. I don't really. I think Ringo is the last person I want singing about politics. So yeah, I gave this EP a 6 out of 10.
It's quite interesting. I've got a different number 5 to you two. I've got "Rewind Forward," which released in October 2023. I just found this one the least memorable out of the rest of the EPs. It's probably the one I'd go back to the least. But I still do really like every song though. I think "Shadows on the Wall's great, but it's probably my least favorite of his songs, of his EP songs. If I'm being honest, I did really enjoy "Feeding the Sunlight," and I thought the title track was pretty good. I also really like the song "Miss Jean," but yeah, it's my least favorite of the EPs for me. But I still really liked it though. But it's quite interesting. We've all got a different number 5.
yeah, we're not agreeing on this at all.
What's on number 4?
Well, number 4 for me is EP3. And it's just that none of the songs were great on here. I think but none of them were terrible either. I'd say they're all like in the middle for me. They're all like okay. I thought, these are okay Ringo songs. "World Go Round," "Everyone and Everything," "Let's Be Friends." For Your Soul" was interesting because it had like a Spanish feel to it. There was just that like I don't know what to call it. There's probably a word for it. I call it Spanish. Spanish guitar player on it, and so it had a different feel to it that was kind of cool. But yeah, it was like still not. None of them was like groundbreaking. Like the choruses or anything weren't really catching me, and the melodies or anything. But it's like I didn't hate it. It was just okay.
Okay. My number 4 is going to be "Zoom In," which is his very first EP. This is interesting because there's 5 tracks on this one as opposed to the 4 tracks you would end up sticking with. The first 2 songs are outstanding. "Here's to the Nights" and "Zoom In, Zoom Out." I thought these 2 were some of his best songs he's released in a very long time, actually. Like since probably the 90s, I'd say 2000s, 90s. The last 3 songs, though, bored me to death. "Teach Me to Tango" was very boring. "Waiting for the Tide to Turn" was boring, and "Not Enough Love in the World" is, again, I didn't care for the song at all. And I wish, in my opinion, if they took the best 2 songs, if they took the best songs from each EP and made it into one big EP, it would be like a 10 out of 10 EP for me. Yeah, this EP I gave a 7 out of 10.
Okay, to my number 4, which was Jason's number 5. That's "Change the World," which was released in September of 2021. I think the title track "Let's Change the World." I think it's a really good title track. I also don't mind the song "Just the Way," but I really love the song Coming Undone. It's one of my favourite Ringo EP songs.
Okay.
And yeah, I do quite like Rock Around the Clock, but the fact that it's an EP with only 4 tracks and one of them's a cover song, I just feel like it's a bit of a waste.
Yeah.
That's probably my least favourite of these Ringo EP songs.
Mhm.
I thought he did a good job, but it just seemed a bit of a waste of the song.
Yeah.
So number 3.
Number 3, I'm going with Zoom In, his first EP. And man, what helps is that first song, Here's to the Nights. That is a great song. It's one of my favorite Ringo songs I've ever heard. It's like a top 10 Ringo song, maybe, when I get down to it. Written by Diane Warren, given to him by her, which is really cool. She's a really good songwriter. But it's really well written song. Love that chorus. Here's to the nights that we can't remember with the friends that we can't forget. Great line. Like throughout the whole thing, I'm like, oh man, that's a good line. And it's just a cool reflection song of the past, reflecting on the good times. And of course, Ringo's getting old, and so you do a lot of reflecting when you get older, and and so I don't know, I love the whole reflecting on the good times, and here's to all these nights that you had. It's a really great written song, and the chorus is great, and the verse, everything. It's a great pop song for him. Zoom in, Zoom out, I thought was okay. It's another song about kind of we're all in it together, we're all in this world together kind of thing. All that. Teach Me to Tango, yeah, I didn't like that song at all. Didn't care for it. Waiting for the Tide to Turn, probably my least favorite song of every song I heard, because it was like a reggae song. And I was like, oh, I didn't like this at all. But I like Not Enough Love in the World. Actually quite liked it. Actually, it was one of my favorite songs on here. Or it's my second favorite, I guess, on here. This was given to him by Steve Lukather, the guitar player for Toto, who played for him in the Ringo's All-Star Band. When I saw Ringo in concert, Steve Lukather was playing guitar anyways, and he sang 3 Toto songs. And so it made me like Steve Lukather. After I saw him in concert with Ringo, I was like, I kind of like Steve. Like, anytime I see him somewhere, I'm like, oh, yeah, that guy. I saw him live playing guitar and singing songs. So I thought that was cool. Anyways, but yeah, it's another, kind of positive song about, needs to be more love in the world, more peace, So, again, I kind of like the positive vibes of it.
Yeah, I like one of his 2 reggae songs, and the one you mentioned for that album was lame. My number 3 is going to be Change the World. This was a pretty good EP. I also gave this a 7 out of 10. First song to me was lame. I didn't like the first song at all. Very lame, my opinion. Just That Way, I really enjoyed. I believe that is the reggae song I do like. Coming Undone, I thought was awful. Didn't like that at all. But Rock Around the Clock, I thought was a great. I mean, I like the song a lot, so I guess me liking the song a lot helps that Ringo did it. It's not one of his best songs ever, but for the EP, I thought it was really good. Again, I thought this was a good EP. I gave it a 7 out of 10, but yeah, like the weak songs on these EPs are really dragging the EPs down. Like I said, if he would just take the best songs from EPs that he's recording for, instead of just putting out whatever music he records, and actually picks the best songs, I feel like he would put some really good EPs out.
I'll get to my number 3, which is EP3. Funnily enough,
The third one.
yeah, which was released in September of 2022. It starts off with "We'll Go Round," which I remember. I think the first time I heard this was after a live stream I did. I did a live stream. I heard this right after. I think because it was a single release on the EP. I think it was. They got Everyone and Everything, which I think is really good. Let's Be Friends, I thought was really good as well. But I really love the song "Free Your Soul." Had a very relaxing vibe about it. It's probably the longest of these EP songs as well. I think it was a collaboration between him and 2 other people. love the instrumentation in that one. That song's the reason why it's my number 3. So I'll number 2.
I want to say Nick and me. I think have I don't think Nick has mentioned my top 2 favorite albums, so EP. So I think we're kind of in line. And Adam mentioned my second favorite, and that is Rewind Forward was my second favorite EP, which I believe Adam mentioned already.
Yeah, it was my number 5.
Your number 5, yeah, it was my number 2. And you haven't mentioned my number 1, so I'm kind of hoping we all have kind of maybe the same number 1. We'll see.
I think I have a feeling we will.
I'm excited if we do. But Rewind Forward, yeah, I thought there's 2 really great songs on here and 2 okay songs. You know, Shadows on the Wall, it was just okay. Yeah, it was definitely maybe the weakest one here. Feeling Sunlight, I thought this was a great song. It's another one of the best songs I've heard on any of these EPs. Again, I love song. I find like I like songs about sun. You know, Here Comes the Sun, Sunshine on My Soul, Sunshine on My Shoulders by John Denver. What's the Cream song? Sunshine of Your Love, whatever. I don't know. Sun, I like Sun. Sun is nice. I don't know. And so
I like the Holly song, Everything is Sunshine.
Everything's Sunshine. Yeah.
Sunday Afternoon by the Kings.
Yes. Yeah, I love that.
That's a top 10 Kink song for him.
It was a top 10 King song. Yeah, when you put Sun in the title, I'm just like, yeah, Sun is like, I don't know, Sun has a positive feeling to it. When there's something, I don't know if you think this about this, but it's like, man, when it's summertime and I go out in the sun, I mean, obviously the heat is terrible, but I don't know, there's something about the sun when it first hits you, it's just, it warms you up. Unlike the cold, when it's cold, it just depresses me because I'm like, I'm cold and depressed. But when it's sunny, I'm like, it's sunny and I'm happy. Anyway, so I don't know. I like it. It was a positive song for me. Rewind Forward, another great song. I really enjoyed this. I like the whole Rewind Forward. It's kind of interesting wording of, again, a very positive style song. I thought a really good chorus and verses and background singing. Everything I thought really worked for the song. Miss Jean, again, it was okay. It was more of a rocker. I think Ringo's better at the pop songs than he is with rock songs, personally, so I prefer his pop music more than if he tries to do more of a rock number. I mean, he had a pretty good guitar to it and all that, I think, in Miss Jean, which helped. But, yeah, it was okay. But, yeah, overall, I thought it was, a pretty good darn EP.
Well, I'm going to keep the band rolling on this EP. It's my number 2. Rewind Forward. 2-2. We got the train going. Yeah, I love this EP. I gave it an 8 out of 10. I thought this was a pretty gosh darn EP. I'll agree the first song is the weakest song on the album. The EP would go actually to a 9 out of 10 if it wasn't for the first track. But Feeling That Sunlight, I agree. Easily the best track on the album. I keep saying album. On the EP. Rewind Forward, amazing. Miss Jean, I thought was decent, but not like top tier. But overall, Jason already summed up why it's my number 2. I agree. It's a great EP.
Well, I get to my number 2, which will also be my number 1. My second favorite is the first EP, Zoom In. So we've all got the same number 1, which is pretty cool. Yeah. It was released in March 2021. Yeah, you start off with it's my favorite of the EP songs, and one of my favorite Ringo songs in general. That's Here's to the Night. I love the music video as well, and seeing all these different people collaborating on it.
I need to see that.
Yeah, I love it. It's a really good video. I really like the title track as well. Zoom in, Zoom Out. I think that's quite a fun song. Teach Me to Tango. Yeah, I really like that one as well. But it's one of my least favorite EP songs of his. I really like Waiting for the Tide to Turn, and I think Not a Lot of Love in the World. It's a pretty underrated track. I really love that one. So yeah, it's pretty cool. We all have the same favorite.
Yeah, that's good. We're all on the same tune here on this. This is this last one that you just came out with.
Yeah, we have a trifecta.
Yeah, it's crazy. His last one was his best.
Yeah.
3. Yeah, February Sky I thought was great. I thought this was, yeah, great song. Another song that reminded me of, I feel like you really wrote this about the COVID period. That's just me putting my thoughts into it. You know, he's talking about he wants to forget about the February skies, and I'm not sure why he says February skies, but it feels like he wants to forget about the bad times, you know, and move on, kind of thing. And I guess that was my feeling. It was like, yeah, let's move on from the bad times. Overall, really well done song. I think really well sung, and the chorus, the melodies are great and everything. Adeline, I thought was another great song. Another, yeah, one of my favorite songs I've heard. Another kind of, you know, I think kind of similar feel. I think of kind of comforting somebody and or you know keep your head up, Adeline kind of thing. And yeah, very well done. The whole melodies are really great. Yeah, just really great song. Gonna Need Someone was my least favorite on the album or EP, but it was okay. It wasn't terrible. It's just, yeah, it wasn't. The other songs were great though. And then Crooked Boy, I thought was great too. I thought it's a very autobiographical. What I loved about it was the autobiographical. I can't say autobiographical. No, that's not it either. A song about his life that he's writing about. Because at first I was like, Crooked Boy, that's a weird title, but then I realized, oh, because Ringo was sick his whole childhood. I mean, he almost died. I mean, he was like in the hospital, and I think doctors told him he only had like so many months to live. But of course, he outlived all that, and eventually got well enough to go back to school and all that. And it was while he was like in the hospital that he learned to kind of love drums because they would play songs in the hospital, and he would like beat on like a pod or something like that, like a drum. And that was like where he kind of got his love for drumming. Was like, anyways, and he kind of mentions that in the song. And of course, he calls himself Crooked Boy because I think, and he mentions like he says something like a sickly boy who made his way in the world or something like that, which I thought was cool. It's like, yeah, this guy who maybe should have died as a kid, becomes one of the most famous drummers in the world and musicians and all that. So it's a really cool written song about his life. I thought that was really cool about it.
Well, my number one, like I said, we have a trifecta. Cricket Boy for me. February Sky is amazing. I think one of his best songs he's released up until this time. Uh, Adeline is really good too. Gonna Need Someone's amazing, and Crooked Boy to me is like the bookends on this EP are amazing. I like the backstory to the song, like Jason mentioned, all that. This is such a awesome song. Definitely top tier Ringo. This is the best like EP/album we've got in a very very long time. Felt like forever since I've done something that I'm like, wow, Ringo, you've impressed me. And I gave this EP a 10 out of 10. This is like he was firing at all four cylinders on this EP, quite literally.
Yeah, I think it's pretty near perfect EP. I give it 5 out of 5 stars. Yeah, I think February Skies fantastic. I love the guitar riff in it as well. It's very infectious. Also the song Adeline as well. It's got a very sing along sort of style to it. Yeah, which I think is really cool. I think you got the song "Gonna Need Someone," which wasn't too crazy at first, but now I love it. I think it's one of his best rock songs he's done on one of his EPs. And then you got the last song, "Crooked Boy," which I think is fantastic as well. And yeah, I think that's probably my favorite song lyrically on the EP. But I think February Sky is my favorite song overall on it. But yeah, his latest EP is our favorite. It released April this year.
Yeah.
So he's got a lot to live up to for the next one.
Yeah.
The one he does, because yeah, this EP is fantastic.
And what is he now? 83, 84 years old? I don't know.
Yeah, I think he's 84 now. I think
84. Wow.
yeah.
Very old.
It's funny looking at the cover because I don't know, his hairstyle is really weird to me. It's this. He's got a lot of hair and it's all brown. And it's like it doesn't feel real. I'm like, how do you have more hair now than you used to have? And like, and how come it's not great at all?
I've actually ranked all 21 of the EP songs.
Oh wow!
So I'll try and go through them as quick as I can.
All right.
So when number 21's Rock Around the Clock, number 20 Shadows on the Wall, number 19 Teach Me to Tango, number 18 World Go Round, number 17 Rewind Forward, number 16 Just the Way, 15 Everyone and Everything, 14 Let's Change the World, 13 Let's Be Friends, 12 Feeding the Sunlight, 11 Miss Jean. We're getting to my top 10 now. So my number 10 is Zoom In, Zoom Out. And number 9 is Gonna Need Someone. Number 8 is Wait for the Tide to Turn. And number 7 is Not Enough Love in the World. And number 6 is Free Your Soul. My number 5 is Coming Undone. Number 4, Crooked Boy. Number 3, Adeline. Number 2, February Sky. And my number 1 is Here's the Night, which is ironically the first song out of these EPs.
Yeah.
The first song's my favourite one. Tiny Stone. The EPs.
Boy's last song, yeah.
Yeah. So overall, glad we all decided to do this.
Yeah, it was nice.
Next EP.
Yeah, Here's to the Nights is my favorite song on all these. I agree with that.
Yeah, it's a good choice. Mine's Cricket Boy, probably.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, that's it for that. Enjoy going ahead and talking about that. But I don't really know what else to really talk about.
I know.
What live stream this? Because there's not many tracks on these EPs.
Yeah, not a lot to talk about.
Yeah. I knew this was going to be a short video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I recommend watching the Here's Tonight's music video.
Yeah.
At some point.
I really need to watch it.
But might as well leave it here then. Do you guys have any final words?
I don't really have much more to add. Those were pretty good music.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely check out Crooked Boy. I think that's definitely the highlight of.
Yeah, check out that EP definitely.
Yeah, I think it's worth a check out if you haven't.
Yeah. So I think that's it. That's all from us. Thanks for watching. Please let us know in the comments your favourite of these EPs and what your favourite song for these EPs is. Thanks for watching and ciao, peace and love. Peace.